The days are getting shorter, nights are getting cooler, and I can't help but feel like it's almost steelhead season. In this video, I'm going to take some time to talk to you guys about the baits that I like to use when I'm up at Pulaski. And these baits will pretty much work on any Great Lake tributary. So the first fly that I'm going to talk to you guys about is one that I don't use enough. It's a stonefly. Here goes an example of one that's not too pretty. Anyways, the stonefly, it's an effective pattern, especially in the winter. All you frozen chosen guys out there know what I'm talking about. You're mimicking a bug that is in the river, and I like to use it when there's a lot of pressure, when the water's really clear, when the fishing's tough. I use this bait, and I like using it in a size 8 through 12 in a 2XL or 3XL hook, and it's a very effective pattern that, like I said, I should probably use more. The second fly that I'm going to talk about is probably the most versatile bait you could use. That's the San Juan worm. And for all my purists out there that fly fish year round, not just on the tribs, you're gonna like this. This is like your mop fly of the Salmon River right here. And it comes in a lot of different flavors and variations. I personally like to use the ones with like the squirmy rubber. You could even tie up a little jig like that. I like the squiggly material. Gives it a little bit of a different look. I don't know what it is about this bait, but it works pretty much in any stream or river throughout the country for trout. They love pink. It's not supposed to look like anything. I think it's just one of those deals where you get reaction strikes. And I actually ran into a pretty good guide on the farm the other day, and we both did well, and we were kind of just chatting, exchanging what flies we were using, what patterns we were using. And I was using more natural presentations, and he was using a fly like this with a hothead 3mm bead there. And I'm like, why are you using that? And he goes, well, I'm using it because nobody else is. And so sometimes using a fly that is just giving them a different look will be an effective way to hook up. Whenever the fishing's tough and nothing else is working, I always fall back on this. I like to use this bait in late October, early November. I also like to use it for dropbacks in the spring. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is another really good fly for browns and steelhead. It's called an egg sucking leech. It's designed to look like a leech that's feeding on an egg right here. I made this one real quick with just a little dubbing, but I actually prefer to use a small bead up here because it looks a little bit more like an egg. But that all comes down to personal preference. Before I talk about the next bait, I'm gonna go into my box and I'm gonna pull out the oldest fly that I have to prove a point. This is a fly that I found on the Salmon River 22 years ago as a kid. And I put it in my fly box and it's been there ever since. Never used it, but the reason why I'm showing you this is to prove a point. A lot of times in fishing, it's always about the new fad or trend, about the new technology. You get where I'm going with this. But at the end of the day, someone's calling me. At the end of the day, you don't have to go crazy. Keep it simple. 90% of the time when I'm fishing up there, I'm using some form of egg patterns, and there's two simple patterns that I like to use. The first example of an egg pattern that you could use in a Great Lake tributary is one that I don't use as much, and those are beads. Come in a bunch of different colors. Chartreuse are good, pinks are good, oranges are good. You could try to match the hatch of the eggs that you see in the river. You could get crazy with it, but all those colors work. Got some line here. This is a little bit heavier than I'd use for steelhead, just so you can see it. Size 6 octopus hooks from Gamakatsu. Take your bead, thread it through your line, like so. And I know guys that stick toothpicks in there. I know guys that put bobber stoppers underneath here, but I wouldn't recommend a toothpick because it's gonna weaken your line. I wouldn't recommend a bobber stopper here because the steelhead are gonna see it. So what I like to use, something like this. They come in different colors. This is what I use on my pink beads, but they also come in clear colors like this. And all you have to do is just, I don't know if you can see that, put it through the tip of your bead Pull it through until it doesn't move, till it's nice and snug, like that. Take a pair of scissors, make sure you don't cut your line, and trim it. So you're putting a peg in there to keep it secure to your line. I like using the clear pegs because you can't really see it. You could do a neater job of trimming it, but it is what it is. Trim your tag. And what you want to do is keep that bead a couple inches or so away from your hook. Why does this work? I don't really know. I don't really understand it. If you guys understand why this works, let me know. Comment below what makes this rig so good. But it does work. Now, you guys could spend 30 bucks in material and take 20 minutes to tie up a stonefly. You could tie up egg sucking leech. You could get fancy with it. 9 times out of 10, this is what I'm using on the salmon river. A dancing egg. All it is a rubber worm with a little squiggly tail. Can you believe that? This is the same thing I use for salmon, but I'm using it on a smaller hook, on a size 6 hook. And I'm just nose hooking it like so. That's it. That's my favorite bait for steelhead. I don't know why, but I smoke them on this. And 90% of the steelhead and browns that I catch up north are on this bait. Which leads me to my next point. Maybe the bait isn't as important as we think it is. To me, there are 3 things that are way more important than the actual bait that you're throwing up there. First thing is the timing, and that's when you're actually going up to the river. Second thing is the quality of your drift. That all comes down to practice. And last but not least, if you're in the right spot, if you're using the right bait that your buddy gave to you, if there are fish around and you're not hooking up, downsize your line. Really pay attention to the size of your line, the quality of your drift. Don't get married to any spot, which means don't be afraid to move up and down the river throughout the day. And I promise you'll catch fish next time you go up north if there's enough water. If you guys took something from this video, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, click the bell so you get notifications, comment below with any questions that you have. I'm gonna be hitting the Salmon River within the next few weeks, looking for big steelhead, maybe even a brown or 2. Thanks for watching, you guys.